All right, so fast forward, obviously we're in different clothes. It's been about 3 weeks.
We look a lot older.
We look a lot older. My hair is probably longer. But it's been 3 weeks, and you've gotten new tires.
Yep, to
and rims.
address some of those issues.
You can see the picture here. These are badass. They're just, I don't want to talk about these for a second. What are they? What are these? They're Rockstar, KMC.
KMC, the XD series.
Yeah.
Rockstar.
20.
They're 8.5 by 20.
Yeah.
With the same size, 37-inch pit bull rockers. That's what we went with.
Nice. You can see from the video in the beginning and the footage that you see now, you can see that this thing looks mean in comparison. So anyway, so we waited 3 weeks to get those before we finished this because of the mounting issues that we had that you just saw. Where
backspace.
The backspace issue.
Backspace is the issue.
Which is the only reason you'd really get a bump. The only reason you're getting a bumper like this is if you have an oversized tire.
Right, there would be no reason to even deal with this unless there's like an issue with you want clearance, but that doesn't really change much unless you're going to go with a heavy, oversized tire.
And the oversized tires you saw did not fit on the back of there. It was ridiculous.
It was. It was.
So that was like the first issue that we had, or was it? We've had a few issues with this install. The bumper itself is great. It looks nice.
Yep, it does. And I've had plenty of people tell me that this thing looks beefed up. It's got a really, really nice finish. It's really clears up some exit type of angle on like terrain type of ideas. But yeah,
there was some munging. As you can see, the spacer that's on here, that's on the wheel itself, it's a 2-inch spacer, and it was custom made. I mean, you could have used a 1.5.
Yep, the 1.5 inch spacer that Spider Track is what I would recommend because I've used them on the rest of the vehicle. And I've had no problems ever. But I did have the 2-inch just because I wasn't quite sure what was going to clear. So I went with a 2-inch, had it custom built, and it worked fine.
So you got the spacer on there. Tires mounted, that's good. The second issue we had, which we alluded to back a couple segments ago, was the opening of this door and the jack. I mean, this Rancho bumper is designed for that high lift jack. Or high lift jack. It shows it in the
right, and it specifically shows the mount. And we seem to have chased some type of dragon on this thing. Well, we tried flipping it over and putting it here and there. We ended up flipping it completely over from what they recommended.
Yeah, they had the foot of the jack at that end, the passenger side of the vehicle, which you saw how the door would hit it. Mm-hmm. And we ended up flipping it over. And what else?
Well, what we did was we moved it
as far down as we could.
Right.
On the whole pattern.
We moved it this direction, actually. We flipped it over, moved it this direction, and it was great at first.
Yeah.
We shut it, and everything looked good.
What was the problem?
Well, then on this particular, the 07, 08, 09.
You couldn't see the license plate.
Covers the plate, and I don't want to be pulled over.
Yeah. So then we shifted it all the way down the whole pattern.
And we were required to cut about 6 inches, I think is what we came with.
Yeah.
We had to cut 6 inches off this 48-inch, brand new 48-inch.
Yeah, chunk that
jack.
big to get it to where you could open it and the door won't hit it and won't mar the crap out of it.
And we went all the way down to the farthest point we could. So we thought we were out of the woods. We thought
What happened next?
Customized that. So then I mounted the rim on here, and what occurred then is if you move the tire all the way, or the mount all the way over, now the tire will hit. So then what we do is push it all the way to here.
And that was the next sticking point, where it's like, oh, without the tire on there, we could open it no problem, open the door no problem, but then the tire.
It dawned on us, even before the tire was on there.
Yeah.
But it confirmed it when we put it on there. It's a 37-inch tire.
Yeah.
The rim size doesn't matter, but it's 37-inch. It touches there, and
Then
when we open it,
now we've got another problem.
and we have to very carefully, well, can't catch it on there, but it's hitting right,
Yep.
it hits right there, and there's probably another 3 or 4 inches of throw on the tailgate, which you want to have that wide open. You don't want to have to worry about it because you'll forget.
So the next thing you're gonna do is
Start cutting again.
Yeah, cut this, lop the red handle down a little bit.
Yep.
Cut a little bit of that out, and maybe just flip this up.
Yeah, this is adjustable. What this is kind of a unique design on this particular jack is you could do some pulling at the same time, and you could, it's just kind of an additional thing. You can take it right off, but what we'll do is we'll flip it up. You can undo this bolt and do it this direction. So I think if we just cut off another couple more inches, if they made a 40-inch high lift, this
That'd
would
been
be
perfect.
This would be all right for this particular application.
But that should take care of those issues.
So have a hacksaw blade, a couple of them.
Yeah.
Really, the main thing on this is there has to be some it has to be some machine customizing. I would hate to have somebody think this is great and be all happy and they're about ready to be done for the night and throw their tailgate open into this.
I know.
That'd really ruin the whole project.
Learn from our mistake, or learn from our knowledge
didn't do
here.
it, but we almost did.
Yeah, so those are the two things. And the last issue that we had was that, during the process of powder coating or whatever, when they weld these, things get bent, things get out of warp, things get right. This thing did not shut. It wasn't even close to shutting. We had like the tire on, we had people standing on it to try to get this thing to swing and shut.
We tried to use the jack.
Yeah, we tried. Yeah, we tried jacking this.
We jacked the whole vehicle up.
Yeah, it wasn't shutting. It now fits like a glove. But what did we have to do to make that work? Open this back up.
We had to bring
in some brute force
and heat.
We heated it underneath here, and then we took a mini sledge and a block of wood and just bashed the crap out of it.
At first, we were concerned about marring the finish because it's such a nice finish, but
there was no choice.
After about 10 minutes of pussyfooting around it, we got tired of it, so we started bashing it.
The issue on this particular one, and depending on yours may not, if you order something like this, it may not have that issue, but this one, it was tilted down, this top lip was tilted down by 1/8 of an inch. I mean, there was no way you were gonna get that in there, and this is thick steel, this is no kidding around.
It wasn't like we could just bend this one because it landed here.
And this pin in here fits like a glove. I mean, you don't have wiggle room. You can't bend this down because this, the cotter pin or whatever this is, won't fit in. So you have very little room. So another tip, to get this thing to work, you may have to use some force. And there's a beautiful powder coat on here, but you may compromise it
Bottom
slightly.
line, heat, and don't be afraid of just getting
raw,
getting aggressive on this, hitting it up, and we had to open that up. We just had to open it up.
But it didn't take much.
No, after we were not afraid of messing up the finish.
Yeah, we baked it under here, and actually heating it up,
didn't do too bad.
It didn't do bad. I mean, we had a torch on there for a while, getting it hot, and a couple little whacks, and it was good to go.
Yep. Since then, it's lined up perfectly.
Yeah, it fits like a glove.
I've had it open and shut many times. And another thing I do want to comment about on this one is I hear a lot about a rattle when you put a heavy tire on. This is an 90 pound tire.
Yeah.
And I hear nothing. And in fact, it is it's very solid thus far.
Yeah. Okay, so bottom line is after all the little turmoil and everything, it's installed. It looks good at that price point. It's a great bumper. The install is not that difficult. And again, pick this thing up. If you want to do this kind of modification, you want to get a Rancho bumper, get it from wondercarparts.com. They've got everything that you want for aftermarket stuff. Great prices. They price match. So if you find something cheaper, contact them. Their customer service is great. They will match that price or try to beat it if they can. So definitely check them out at wondercarparts.com. I'm Scott. This is Chad. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned from it. And this was an awesome project. Even though it's not my Jeep, I'm kind of jealous. I might get a Jeep. I might get a Jeep after this. You may have turned me into a Jeep guy.
I think you are.
This is an awesome project. Check me out on Twitter, twitter.com/Scott Aubuchon. Send me an email, scott@thatsawesome.tv, and we will see you, I don't want to say next week. I always say next week, and it's months and months. We will see you next time.